Welcome to CEC Gurukul Lectures. Here today we will be talking on the three domains in the Bloom's taxonomy which we have highlighted in the previous session: the cognitive domain, the psychomotor domain and affective domain. That is, there are 6 levels of learning according to Dr. Bloom, right from the lowest level of thinking, that is you are able to memorize, you are able to exhibit to what you have taken, that is the knowledge, to comprehension, to application, to analysis, to synthesis and to evaluation. And we talked about that what were the learning outcomes relating to knowledge, that is you are able to have the cognitive domain in terms of you are able to cite what you have studied, you are able to convert it into some valuable document, you are able to apply that in the real time analysis and assemble and access it. Then we are talking about the various learning outcomes relating to knowledge like labeling, listing, enumerating, identifying, matching, name, recall, reproduce and stuff like this. If you are able to have a good comprehension, that is you are able to identify, you are able to paraphrase, you are able to summarize, that means the learning outcome of the cognitive domain is achieved. Then if you are able to apply to what you have memorized, that is the knowledge you are able to comprehend, now is the time to apply it in the real time basis, that is you have to prepare and use it in the project and analyze, synthesize and evaluating as far as the learning outcomes of the cognitive domain is concerned. Then we have discussed about the affective domain, that is the learning outcomes relating to the attitude of the humans, the behavior of the humans and the values of the human, taking into consideration the receiving part, responding part, valuing, organizing and characterizing. Then we discussed what the psychomotor domain is all about and what was the learning outcomes relating to the particular skills. That is, if you are taking those skills, so you are able to observe that in a deepest extent, you are able to create the model, you are able to recognize the standards, correctly apply and even you are ready for illustrating, exhibiting and teach and train and demonstrate to the public at large. So we are talking about the Bloom's taxonomy and the various domains and the various 6 levels of thinking which he talked about, which was started in the year 1956 by Bloom and it was revised in 2001 by the Lauren Anderson. He was a former student of Bloom, which we will be taking in the next session. But all these 3 domains, what are the basic insights of it? In this session we will be talking on the original taxonomy which was introduced in the year 1956 with the basic 3 domains of learning. The cognitive, that is the mental skills, that is the knowledge. Affective growth in the feelings or emotional areas, we call it the attitude or self. When you talk about the psychomotor or the manual or the physical skills, we call it as skills. Then we have some instructional designs. Trainers, educators often refer to these under the 3 category as KSA, that is K stands for knowledge, S stands for skill and A stands for the attitude. So we will be discussing these one by one. So let me first talk about the cognitive domain. The cognitive domain involves the knowledge and the development of the intellectual skills. These includes the recall or the recognition of the specific facts, procedural patterns and the concepts that serve in the development of intellectual abilities and the skills. There are 6 major categories of cognitive process, starting from the simplest to the most complex. So you can understand that what this cognitive domain is all about. It is all about the development of the individual intellectual skills. That is, he is able to memorize, he is able to recognize what are the various patterns, various intellectual abilities, various skills from the simplest to the lowest aspects. So you are able to have the knowledge, then comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis and evaluation from the lower to the higher thinking levels. So you can see this pyramid. At the bottom it is the knowledge. You are able to manipulate in your mind, you are able to comprehend the things, you are able to apply it in the real aspects, you are able to analyze the situation. synthesize it, and then you're able to evaluate it. So this is all about the cognitive domain. Now talking about the lowest level first, that is knowledge. It involves a recall of a specific and universals, the recall of the methods and the procedures, or a recall of a pattern, structure or setting. So the student can write, he can list, he can define with his knowledge if he have. So this is what knowledge is all about. That is, here the focal point is about reproducing, recalling, having the same pattern, or about whether the student is able to define what he did in the class. He is able to manipulate in his mind about the various pattern he has been taught in the class. So we say that he is knowledgeable. So coming on to the comprehension part of it, which is a next order level thinking. The lowest level of the thinking level was a knowledge, which we have discussed. Now is the time to discuss the comprehension level. Now comprehension level refers to a type of understanding or apprehension, such as individual knows what is being communicated. He is able to comprehend in his mind, he is able to have a straight kind of a comprehension, he is able to have the interpretation skills in his mind, and he is able to have the information based on the prior learning, like he is able to explain, summarize, paraphrase and describe. So once in the class the knowledge is given to the student. The second higher order level thinking is a comprehension level. As I have explained you that here the work of the student, we will be calling that he is having a good level of comprehension only when he is able to have a good translation in his mind, good interpretation skills. Then of course everything will be depending upon the knowledge he has been given in the class. If he is able to paraphrase, he is able to describe, he is able to explain everything, we say that the second order level of thinking is present in that student. So from the knowledge, which was the lowest level of the Bloom's taxonomy, coming on to the comprehension level, the third aspect of the Bloom's taxonomy, different levels of thinking level, is the application part. Now what does it mean? It refers to the use of abstractions in particular and concrete situations. So when the student selects, transfers and uses the data and the principles to complete a problem with a minimum of direction, how student can use, compute, solve and apply his knowledge. For example, 100 minus 15 is able to 85. So it means that he is able to apply the mathematical formula and get the real time answers. So this is the use of the abstractions which he has taken from the knowledge and the comprehension. In his mind he is able to apply that in the real time situations. He has studied the addition, subtraction, division, algorithms, etc. So if he is able to apply those algorithms, those formulas in the real time, he is able to compute, he is able to have the problem solving skills, he is able to apply his knowledge. We completely agree to this step that he is having even a higher order level of thinking. First was the knowledge, the second was the basic aspects which we have studied relating to the affective domain. He is able to comprehend the situation, and we say that this is what he is able to do. So basically we have to see the application part, we have to see the cognitive domain, we have to see that he is having that intellectual power to reproduce what he did in the class. And after the cognitive domain, we talked about the 6 levels of thinking, that is from knowledge to comprehension, to application, to analysis, to synthesis and to evaluate. So we have talked about the knowledge part, that is he is able to define, recall and reproduce in the class. The second aspect level of thinking which we talked about was comprehension, that is he is able to summarize, paraphrase, describe, translate to what he did in the class. And the next aspect which we referred to, the next higher order level thinking, was the application part, That is when he is able to have the concrete situation and he is able to apply the knowledge and the comprehension to the real time world. That is the application of the knowledge. So, here in the application we talk about that whether he is able to have the computation skills, he is able to have the problem solving skills, and he is able to apply the knowledge. The next is your analysis part. Now, breakdown of a communication into its constituted elements or the parts. Student distinguishes, classifies and relate the evidence or the structure of a statement or a question. So, student can analyze, categorize, compare and separate. Now, for example, the old capital of Pakistan, the new capital, why? So, this is the analysis. So, this is how the analysis, he is able to have a good comprehension of and breaking down of the communication into various small parts which are very pertinent and important, and the student is able to distinguish and classify relating to the evidences available. He is able to have a structure and the statement of the questions and able to analyze, categorize, compare and separate. The last second last is your synthesis part. Now, what does the synthesis means? It involves putting together of the elements and the parts so as to form a whole, whereas in the previous aspect this was analysis. The analysis was what? It was the breaking down of a communication into small parts, whereas synthesis is again uniting those aspects or putting them together. So, the synthesis is just opposite of the word analysis. In the synthesis, it involves the putting together of elements and the parts so as to form a whole, and the student originates, integrates and combine the ideas into a product, plan or a proposal that is new to him. He can create, design, invent and develop. He can combine different types of information to find the alternative solutions. For example, he can combine this to make a sentence like mother invention is necessary. So, he is able to here the focus is to putting the things together, the small parts and making it as a whole. So, this is what is called as a synthesis aspect. The last higher order level thinking, we call it as evaluation. Evaluation means what? Evaluation means the judgments about the value of the material and the methods for the given purpose. The student can judge what he learned, whether it is right or wrong. If wrong, then he can start the process again. So, student creates and have the ability to judge, to recommend, to have a critique and to justify it. So, basically we have talked about the various higher order level thinking levels, that is the cognitive domain in detail, starting from the knowledge to the evaluation. So, basically knowledge was about focusing on the recalling of the process, the recalling of the methods, reproducing to what he did in the class. Comprehension is about the understanding, and the student is able to translate, to summarize, to paraphrase and to describe. The application part refers to the application of the knowledge into practice. That is, he is having he is able to compute, he is able to have solve the situation and apply the knowledge. Analysis is basically breaking down of the communication into small parts. If he is able to do that, of course the student can analyze, categorize, compare and separate. So, here the focus is on the analysis. The next was synthesis, which is just opposite of the analysis. Here we are putting the terms together so that he is able to have a good knowledge to find the alternative solutions. The student originates, integrates, combine the ideas into a product, plan, proposal that is very new to him. Next is your evaluation. Evaluation is all about the judgment about the value of material and the methods for a given purpose. The students can judge what he learned. So, if he is able to have that judgmental aspect into him, he is able to comprehend what is right, what is wrong, and he's able to apply that in together, justify that, recommend that, judge that, justify that, have a critique on that. That is, he's able to have the evaluation aspects. So this was the first domain of the Bloom's taxonomy. Now moving on to the second domain in detail of the Bloom's taxonomy, we are talking about the original taxonomy. It is the affective domain. In the affective domain, the skill is the affective domain describe the way the people react emotionally and their ability to feel other living things pain or joy. Affective objectives typically target the awareness and the growth in the attitude. So, emotions and the feelings. So, these are the 5 levels in the affective domain, moving through the lowest order process to the highest. First, receiving. Second, responding. Third, valuing. Fourth, organizing. And the last is your characterizing. So, the affective domain focuses on the emotional and the attitude part of it. In this, as I have mentioned, that there are various levels, right from the lowest order process to the highest process, that is whether he is able to take up those skills or not. So, the first is only the receiving part, which is the lowest, and moving from receiving to responding to valuing to organizing and to characterizing is the highest. So, let us talk first on the receiving aspects. The lowest levels, the student passively pays attention. Without this level, no learning can occur. Receiving is about the student's memory and the recognition as well. That is, students saw a person helping the poor. So, this is receiving. Now, coming on to the responding part. The student actively participates in the learning process, not only attend to a stimulus, the student also reacts in some way. For example, he saw that people appreciating the people who help the poor. So, that means now in responding, his emotions are involved. He feels connected to that particular situation which he received. So, the receiving was what? The student saw a person helping the poor. So, this is just a student memory and he is recognizing a particular situation. Now, his emotions are connected. The student is actively participating in this process, whereas, he not only attends to this stimulus that a person is helping the poor, the student also reacts in some way. He saw the people appreciating the person who helped the poor. Now coming on to the valuing part, the affective valuing part. The student attaches a value to the object, phenomena or a piece of information. The student associates a value or some values to the knowledge they acquired. For example, he gives value that helping poor is an appreciable work. So, now coming on to the third aspect, that is the valuing part. The first he saw and took this as a receiving part, that is the student saw a particular person helping the poor. This was the receiving. How he responded to that situation? He saw that people appreciating the person who helped the poor. Now, after he saw that it is good to help the poor, so he came on to the valuing part of it, that the persons who are helping the poor is definitely appreciable in the society. So, the student attracts a value system to it. A value system to what? The value system to an object, to a phenomena or a piece of information. The student associates a value or some values to the knowledge they acquired. Now comes organizing. This is the fourth part. The student can put together different values, different information, different ideas and accommodate them with his or her own scheme. The student is comparing, relating, elaborating on what he has learnt. Example, he organizes his learning that how he can help poor. See, once he saw a person helping the poor, this was received by his mind. Now, he started responding to that situation. Okay, he saw that people appreciating the people who help poor. Like he saw the people that the person who is helping the poor is being appreciated in the society. So, he started valuing that situation and he came out with one statement that he gives value that helping poor is appreciable work. So he started organizing this in his mind, that how I can help the poor. So the fourth one was organizing. Now coming on to characterizing. The student at this level tries to build abstract knowledge. Example, at this stage the habit becomes the part of his character, that now he will always help the poor. So this becomes his character, this becomes his abstract knowledge. He is building the knowledge on that part. Now I hope this affective domain is very clear to everyone. So let me give you a recap of what we did, and then we will move on to the last domain, that is the first we will talk about the cognitive domain, which we have done before. It started with the lowest form of thinking, that is the knowledge, which is the process of just reproducing or recalling. We call it as knowledge. If you are able to comprehend, that means you are able to summarize, paraphrase, describe, translate, interpret, and if you are able to apply that in the real time situation, that is, you are able to have the computational skill, problem solving skill and application skill on the real time basis. Then came the analysis part, that is breaking down of communication into the constituent elements or small parts, whereas then we move on to the synthesis, which is a higher order level thinking, that it involves putting together of the elements and the parts so as to form a whole. Then we move on to the evaluation, that is, if he is able to have this kind of a mindset in his mind, that he is able to judge, he is able to recommend, he is able to justify, he is able to produce a critique. We say that the evaluation part is also there in him. Then we move on to the second domain of Bloom's taxonomy, that is the affective domain. Affective domain is basically the skills in the affective domain describes the way the people react, that is the emotion, and the attitude, that is their ability to feel the living things, the joy, the pain, and typically what affects their attitude, emotions and the feelings. So there are 5 levels of affective domain which we have talked about today. The first one was receiving, responding, valuing, organizing and characterizing. In receiving part, I gave the example that a student saw a person helping the poor. In responding, he saw that the people appreciating the person who helped the poor. Then he started putting values to it. He gives the value that the helping poor is a very appreciable work. Now he started organizing towards it, so that he organizes his learning, that now he can help the poor. Now comes the characterizing. The student at this level tries to build the abstract knowledge. For example, at this stage the habit becomes the part of his character. The third domain is a psychomotor domain, that is the action based. The skills in the psychomotor domain describes the ability to physically manipulate a tool or an instrument like an hand or a hammer, and the psychomotor objectives usually focuses on the chain and the development in the behavior and the skills. The Bloom and his colleague never created subcategories for skills in the psychomotor domain. So basically, when you talk about the various domains of the the Bloom's taxonomy, which we have done today, is all about rise in the thinking level of the students. What he is trying to prove here, that if we apply the various domains in the the real time basis of the education aspects, there are magical results, there are radical changes which we can see, because all the main focus of the Bloom's taxonomy is to improve the student learning and the thinking process. So we started with the concept of the problems that in the previous teaching pedagogies, we are not able to judge the basic deliverables are good or bad, because we are faced when we enter a class, we face about more than 30 participants. So their learning abilities, their various classifications of their learning was not there in the yester teaching pedagogies, and it was very ironical that whether the deliverables are received in the same manner or not. So owing to this aspects, the Bloom's taxonomy was introduced, and basically it worked on improving the student skills student learning abilities and the student thinking abilities, right from the lowest level to the highest level of the skills. So, in the 1956, basically the educational psychologist Dr. Benjamin Bloom, he introduced these pedagogies of promoting the higher forms of thinking in the education. So, just see that he is just focusing on not only on the rote thinking, because it was rejected by the Bloom that the rote learning is not going to make any difference, because in the yesteryear teaching pedagogies the main focus was on just deliverables, that's all. And that is the remembering aspects, the rote learning aspects to the students, whereas everything is changed with a new conceptual clarity, with a new process, procedures, principles are in place as far as the Bloom's taxonomy is concerned. And basically it was translated in many languages, and it is underway also that it is being adopted wholeheartedly today also. And perhaps when you talk about the global aspects, this taxonomy which we have discussed today is on the top with the three basic domains: cognitive, affective and psychomotor. In the cognitive domains, various levels of thinking which we have talked about, from knowledge to comprehension to application to analysis to synthesis and to evaluation. And the affective domain was basically the learning outcomes we see is on the behavior and the values, from receiving, responding, valuing, organizing and characterizing. And the last was the psychomotor domain, in which the model was to observe, create a model and recognize the standards, correct them, apply them, and you are able to coach them also. So, with the coming sessions from now, we will be also talking on the revised Bloom's taxonomy, that how the Bloom's taxonomy has been changed and revised with a new version. So, and how it is affecting the education system across the globe will be the part of the next session. Thank you so much.